Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Well, greetings and welcome to this week's edition of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. I'm John Engleman. Appreciate you being here however you watch or listen. This week, we talk with Jordan Wright of Wright's Barbecue. And as you might imagine, what a story he has. But before we get to him, good news. We kick it off with good news that broke on Monday as Onyx Coffee Lab in Rogers was named the top coffee shop in the world. It was announced at Coffee Fest in Madrid, Spain, where they named the top 100. The awards were based on the following criteria: the quality of coffee, barista experience, customer service, innovation, ambience and atmosphere, sustainability practices, food and pastry quality, and consistency. Big congrats to Flavors alum Andrea Allen, her husband John, and the entire team. Monday was also a big day on the 8th Street Market as Parlay on 8th held their grand opening. The centerpiece, of course, is the shuffleboard floor. For those that remember, it came from the previous tenant, the Holler. Parlay on 8th is gorgeous and large. They'll be open 7 days a week from 10:30 a.m. to close. General Manager Kyle Dinger gives us an overview of the place.
An upscale sports bar, we have a little bit of everything, shuffleboard, pool tables, eventually trivia down the line, a live music venue down the line, but right now it's just kind of a place to watch TV, hang out, and get a good burger and a brew.
There was also some sad news on Monday as Mermaids announced their closure in Rogers. They said that the location had not been the right fit for them. They're still catering and still have presence in Benton County with Isabella's and Bentonville. Mermaids opened in Rogers last summer. For most of you watching this, the grand opening has already happened for the Whole Foods in Rogers at the Summit Shopping Center as it opens or opened at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. You're seeing video, by the way, from Monday. We will, of course, cover it and have it in our social media, and we'll have more about it in next week's podcast. I also do a monthly podcast with Bistro 16 owner and executive chef William Mock. It's called Be In the Know. It's spelled B-I-E-N the Know. This month's episode came out Sunday, where we learned about 2 spots coming into downtown Springdale this spring. First, an Italian restaurant will finally open on Holcomb called Gaskin's Trattoria. If a name rings a bell, because it is owned by the same folks that own Gaskin's on Emma. It'll be run by Lisa Provencio Jones. Her husband Bert sat with us to tell us more about it.
Yeah, we're going to have 15 two-tops.
Yeah.
We'll seat max 30 people. It's got a small kitchen. Lisa is creating all the menu items, all the recipes. By the way, 2 nights ago, I had the most fantastic gnocchi that I've ever had.
Really?
Oh, stunningly delicious.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's just going to be a fun, kind of like the market. It's going to be a neighborhood location. And we're in a residential district, this building is.
Yeah.
And we want the people from, Quant Avenue to Maple Avenue to Allen and all the way down to Meadow to be able to walk over, ride their bikes over. I mean, certainly we have a parking lot. You can drive over if you care to, but
you're going to have the Chianti and the wicker baskets.
That will not be happening.
God dang it.
I know. I pushed for that as well.
Didn't you?
But our wine list is going to be
Unity every night.
a small, well-curated, strictly Italian wine list.
Okay.
And Nebbiolos and probably 1 or 2 Barolos. And, yeah, it's just it's my job to test that out, and the work is just difficult.
Drinking all that wine.
He's falling on the sword for us.
Yeah. We appreciate you doing the hard work.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I bet it is. They'll also be co-owners of a new market with Ben Elstein. The former Maple Market building is where it'll be, and it'll be called Emma's Market and Bottle Shop. Here's Ben with the idea behind the shop.
If we begin with the idea of a neighborhood grocery store or corner market or bodega, but not gravitate to only one of those ideas, but just mix them all up in your head.
Yeah.
What do you get? You get a place where everyone from the community can find something that they like, something that they need, or something that they want to discover. So our intention is to have food that you need at home for your pantry, food that you might want to just consume or drinks that you want to have when you're on the road because you're visiting the new hotel that will be opening in the next few months, or you do business on the street and want to grab something before you head home, or you've been working late, or you want to discover something new.
Yeah.
Not only because you're a curious mind and you're open to new tastes, but because you're discovering this vibrant neighborhood and your imagination is excited simply by the other things that you're seeing along the way. You can come in and discover something that you hadn't experienced before.
You can also hear the whole episode wherever you listen to podcasts. It's Bien the Know, spelled B-I-E-N, the Know. Tables are filling up for the No Kid Hungry dinner at the Hive on March 7th at 5:30. The menu still hasn't been announced, but if you want tickets, you can still get them at the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas Instagram page bio. Just look for that link section and you will see it. The dinner will start with a cocktail hour with appetizers served by a few local stars, Chef Rafael Rios of Yayo's and Chef Arturo Solis of Onyx, and of course formerly of Lady Slipper. Then the four-course dinner, with the first course of the night coming from Cesar Zapata, chef of PHUC Yeah in Miami. That's right, it spells fuck yeah. Vinny Semino of Cordelia in Cleveland and Claudia Martinez of Bar Anna in Atlanta will also have a course each, as will the Hive's executive chef Micah Klasky. If you want in on this one, you better hustle. On today's Flavors Flashback, we go back to December 11th of 2024 when we interviewed the awesome owners of Rein in downtown Springdale. Ray Wibowo, Barry Abe, and Avery Maddox, who is from Harrison, talked about how they all ended up together in Arkansas. Ray and Barry came from California and bought a restaurant in Harrison without ever having gone in it before. Here's what happened when they finally got in.
Anyway, like they let us in
Sure.
if we pay that down payment
Okay.
and some certain money. So I just pay everything with all the money that I had.
Yeah.
Then we went there not knowing like what's the consequences going to be, right?
I thought you were going to say paid with your Visa card and...
Actually, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I love it, man.
So I was
That's
like...
the greatest stories,
Yeah,
man.
so like the next day, right, when I was back in California, and I just wired all that money that I had in my bank to that guy.
Oh, wow.
I think it was like 20-something.
Yeah.
Thousand. And so...
That's crazy.
But then, not knowing that you have to spend more money when you get there.
Right.
So it was... And we got the key, we opened the door, everything was off. So no electricity, nothing.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
flooded.
No. Oh, it was flooded?
It was flooded. It smells like
Oh, no.
terrible because everything was like bad, like the chicken and everything. So it was flooded like crazy.
So you had old proteins that had been there for 3 months and no electricity and just...
Right. Right. It was gross.
Yeah.
Like flies everywhere. Anything that you can think of.
Jordan Wright was a backyard barbecue king for a good while. He had a successful career in sales and communications at one of the big Northwest Arkansas companies and caught the bug in a bigger way at a popular barbecue spot in Austin. He tasted some things that weren't in Northwest Arkansas at the time and maybe not even in the state. That's changing, as Wright's has 4 spots now in Northwest Arkansas, 1 in Little Rock, with 2 more Central Arkansas locations coming soon. Jordan talks about learning barbecue, building Wright's in the early days, the current day, and what the future holds. And that's next, right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas. Looking for a liquor store that actually takes care of you? Meet Macadoodles in Pineville and Guess Who in Bentonville, where customers always come first. From open to close, enjoy complimentary white and red wine samples at both locations. Curious about spirits? Well, they've got spirit tastings too. And when a new barrel buy comes in, there will be an open bottle so that you can try it. And if not, just ask. Within reason, they're happy to pop one open for you. At Macadoodles in Pineville, check out their exclusive private label spirits and wines. In fact, you'll be able to try for yourself this weekend in Pineville, as those private label wines from California will be on the tasting table on Friday and Saturday. The price is good, and the quality, it's better. Buying a 12-pack of beer? Well, you'll get a free 3-ounce bag of ice, because details matter. They'll also help with big carry-out orders, and if it's raining, not to worry at all. Umbrellas are waiting up front. And if you want to save money, join the loyalty program at both places. Macadoodles in Pineville and Guess Who in Bentonville. Taste before you buy and feel taken care of every time.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Welcome back. We are at the home office of Wright's Barbecue, and we're with Jordan Wright, owner, founder. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Man, appreciate your time. I know you're slam all the time, always going. I want to talk, and I know we're kind of steps from your Johnson location.
For sure.
Man, what a renovation you guys just did over there. Tell me about that.
That was a big one. We had needed to increase space, fix parking, build a smokehouse. Fortunately, we were able to finally get that done. But it was a 5-month journey of being shut down, and so we're back full swing there, and it's going great.
Yeah, parking lot. I mean, everything.
Yeah, the parking lot was massive. Detention pond. Yeah, we got the whole basket from the city of what to do. But I think the building looks great and doesn't look too different from the original. And so, we're really happy.
I hopped over there on grand opening day, and you guys got nailed pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's hopped around the smokehouse. People are like, who's that guy back there? Just kind of snooping around, checking it all out. So I want to get into background. Where did you learn barbecue?
Yeah, I mean, I started in my backyard.
Okay.
On the green egg, just like everybody that likes to smoke meats once they get 30 years old. And so I saw something the other day. It said, when you're 30, you take interest in smoking meat, bourbon, golf, all these things. And I was like, check the box on like all 10.
Yeah.
So started smoking meat just for the family and parties at home, and then brought some food to work, and at Thanksgiving get-togethers, and so just kind of started really enjoying it and loved fresh barbecue, and just kind of kept working and getting better.
What was your professional background previous to that?
So I started in sales and communication was kind of my background. So I was doing a lot of outside sales with a food service company back in like 2008, and then eventually ended up at Tyson and was doing poultry sales, and then some more prepared food sales, sausage, pepperoni, stuff like that. Okay. So that's kind of what led me to Texas, working on a trip when I first had really good moist brisket back in like 2013.
Where were you?
I went to Salt Lick. All you can eat barbecue, brisket, sausage, and ribs for like $18.99.
Was there 2 years ago? Yeah.
It's not $18.99 for all you can eat anymore.
No, it's not. In fact, it's a big place.
It is. It's huge. Awesome. And when you pull in, it's just like when you pull in the parking lot of Johnson, and your car smells
smacks you in the
smoke,
face.
And you're like, okay, I'm at a good barbecue place.
Is that the point where you thought, I want to try this?
So I was already smoking a lot of meat before I got down there, but like I'd never done a good brisket, and the green egg's not a great brisket cooker. You can get around it. You can do some tricks, but really indirect cooking is what briskets require. And so, it just kind of started we don't have this. And you just kind of keep trying to get better and wanting to bring that product, that great Texas-style brisket to home.
It wasn't here.
No.
It wasn't here in Northwest Arkansas. I don't know about the rest of the state, but it wasn't in Northwest Arkansas.
No, I think doing it the way we've done, I would probably, maybe this is incorrect, but 1,000-gallon propane cookers indirect, I would guess we were one of the first people to do that commercially. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, most cookers in the state are rotisserie, old hickory pits, and other pits that are available, or old pits that have just been built, like at some of the old places in Little Rock and Hot Springs that are not what we do. And so, it's a difficult product to pull off, especially when you're only using wood and only cooking indirectly. So we're keeping it traditional.
Takes some time. Takes
Yeah.
some time for sure, and we'll get into that here in the next segment. But I want to talk about that educational pilgrimage you took to
Yeah.
East Texas, and what kind of prompted that? Because at that point, I'm thinking that you're thinking I kind of want to do the side hustle. I want to see what I can do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd ordered a catering trailer because I was just going to do some, I wanted to cook brisket through an indirect style. So I needed a new smoker because I didn't have that. So I'd ordered a smoker and then, ended up kind of morphing into a food truck build, the one we originally took to the square at the farmer's market, and then just kind of built the brand. But, on the way to pick up that trailer, I had been following Daniel Vaughn and emailing him about, hey, who'd be a good person to talk to? And so he connected me with Evan Leroy, who was at Friedman's at the time, and got to go down and spend about 7 or 8 hours with Evan. The first time I'd been in the back of the house restaurant, really working, prepping, cooking, and feeling briskets and just learning from him, trimming, and just seeing what he knew. And he's a great teacher. And he's been one of the best teachers in barbecue. Evans, if you look at Evan's tree of people that have gone and worked with him or gone and spent time, he's just a great ambassador for barbecue. He's very highly trained, very highly knowledgeable in all realms of culinary world.
Right.
But I think his best gift is his ability to teach and his willingness to bring people in. And so he still does it. We went down last year. He does a barbecue class every year and brings in pit masters from wherever, all over the country. They come in and we just get to cook together and learn and kind of share the community of barbecue. So getting to go down there, learning, it was really eye-opening to be like, okay, I'm close. Like I was close with the cup, it's like, but here's a few things that, maybe I was missing, and whether it was patience and getting the brisket done or whatever. And so, the big thing about even whether you take a pilgrimage to learn or eat, it's no different than someone going to Italy and being like, okay, I want to bring this Italian food back to my hometown.
Sure.
Or I go to New York and I try this bagel place. I'm going to try to open up a bagel spot like that here.
Yeah.
And so people just hadn't done that. There was one place about 15, 16 years ago called Buck Naked Barbecue.
I remember.
And they were open for maybe like 6 months.
Yep.
And, who knows what the issues were internally that caused that not to work. But they did counter style.
Yeah.
But their briskets, they cooked on these big trash, kind of like dumpster cookers.
And it was also hard to get to that place.
Also hard to get to that place. And it just, I don't know what was it. It may have just been wrong, right place or right concept, wrong timing.
Right.
We really hit the nail on the head, I think, with timing in the country and the pulse of the barbecue culture.
Sure.
Mid 2000s, 10s. Franklin started in 2009, and then kind of people started saying, okay, people are liking high quality barbecue and they're seeking it out, and it's not just, okay, the cheapest thing that we can put on the menu, which is the history of barbecue has always been, hey, we'll take the cheapest cuts that we don't have anything to do with in the butcher shop, we'll smoke them,
which
make
is what
them
brisket
tender,
was, yeah.
Which is what brisket was when it was 50 cents a pound or less. And so now, now it's a premium beef product, and just gets more expensive every year.
Yeah, for
more
sure.
People are eating it.
Yeah,
the pilgrimage was great. Went down there, went to Houston, did a barbecue competition, ended up winning first place in the brisket challenge or the brisket side of that competition.
And I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
Because the way you tell the story is that was the very last thing that they awarded.
Oh yeah,
and they worked too, and you guys entered every part.
Yeah, so we were I was doing it for my buddy's company, but I was the cooker, and we had this brand new pit, and all the barbecue people that were there were like, oh, you're never going to win anything with a new pit. We submitted chicken, ribs, and brisket with 3 categories.
Right.
And, they go through 10-1 on all 32 categories, and then 10-1 on brisket. And by the time I got to number 2 on brisket, it was like, what am I even doing here, and why did I come? I've been up for 48 hours cooking food. And then for them to call the name, it was pretty awesome. What an epic story.
Was that your first competition?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. How great was that? All right, so that's your first hole-in-one.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, but that's when you think
I haven't
you're
had
on the
one
right
in golf,
track.
but I have had that one. So.
I had one. It was the worst miss-hit ever, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
So you from that point is when you bring the trailer back and
Yep.
you really start building out at the farmer's market and building that brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So yeah, I mean, we'd worked
Barbecue in the morning.
Yeah, we'd worked with the farmers market. They needed some convincing that we could do breakfast because they really wanted breakfast.
Yeah.
and we kind of had to convince them to let us do lunch because the farmers market goes from 7 to noonish or so.
Yeah.
But we were able to convince them, hey, yeah, we can do breakfast burritos and breakfast bowls, tacos, and then kind of go off and do some lunch plates. And so it kind of evolved over time at the farmers market, and build people that wanted it. And then we'd just do events. We'd get booked for food truck events and stuff like that, whether it was weddings. And so, just kind of chipped away at it that first year.
The hardest thing probably that you've had to do was to make the decision to make the switch. You're successful in your career and your job, but your passion's elsewhere. Tell me about finally and getting the support from family and finally making that jump.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely challenging, especially when you're all we had at the time were a food truck. Or a food truck. I think we had 2 food trucks at the time.
Okay.
And so you just couldn't guarantee consistency when it came to being able to sell products, sell food. It'd rain and you'd cook with barbecue. You'd cook it, and all of a sudden the storm would come in. There was a story I tell often. There was a first Thursday event. We'd cooked all this food, and we really needed it, needed the sales, and storm shut down the first Thursday event. Everybody else left, and I was like, I'm not leaving. My guys, I said, hey, I can't, I'll pay you for what we're setting up, but I'm going to stay here and just cut and sell whatever I can. Posted on Instagram, and the community showed up. It was a shareholders event going on, so all the people from out of state were walking around looking for stuff, and we're selling barbecue, just like making deals. So it kind of, that was pretty stressful. I told my dad, I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I got 3 kids, and but you kind of look at it 10 years removed from that, 9 years removed from that decision. You're like, okay, well, this was pretty good decision.
Oh, for sure. But
yeah.
How did you find the Johnson location? Because I remember way back in the day when I worked at Channel 5, I would go there to More Doors Pizza.
Yeah. Used to be More Doors. It's been a couple of places over the years and always been real rundown. And the family that owned it, it just done leases, and they weren't going to spend. That was the big key. If you spend any money, you'd have to go do the whole large scale development.
Yeah.
And no one really wanted to spend that money.
Sure.
Till I did last year.
Right.
But I think we had driven by there. That was on my way to work from home. And so, there was an antique spot in 2017, and we started, they leased us the side yard for $25 a week on Fridays.
Deal.
And so we set up and did lunch there. And so did that. And kind of in that same time frame is when we were thinking, okay, do I leave? Do I stay?
Yeah.
Catering had grown to a certain size where it was like, okay, we've got a lot of jobs. Okay, I think this is what we can make off this catering business, and I've got 2 trucks, so if I just lean in more, and I'm too busy to do both. But my wife told me, she's like, if you don't do it, you're going to look back 10 years and be like, someone else will have done it, and you're going to be like, that was my idea, and that's when that was what you were working on, and then you just decided to not.
Totally feel that.
So it definitely motivated me to just kind of keep going and keep pressing, and then that place went out of business. I was friends with the landlord. And he called me and said, hey, they're going out. Do y'all want in? So I said, yeah. And so we borrowed some money from the bank and got it going.
Yeah. That
9 years ago.
Had to be a real easy build out.
Yeah. The first one wasn't too bad. We just added the cut line.
Okay.
And then put some gravel up, eventually put a pad and some tents, and, kind of piecemealed that thing together at a very low cost for a long time. So
there was a time where we would go and see the music at night out front there, and just have beers and a little bit of barbecue, and it'd be a great night.
Yeah.
And that was back in the earlier days, because that was when it was new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That was great. So success there. Where are you thinking next? I mean, obviously the next is Bentonville, but you're thinking growth. Tell me about that.
Well, we got the Walmart store open, which is open to the public. So it's on the campus of Walmart. And
the first Bentonville. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So next was Bentonville.
Yeah.
We that was by necessity, was during COVID. And we really needed an extra kitchen because we were remodeling ours. And so we got into that, and then kind of was like, hey, we don't have that much space in Johnson with the 6-foot deal, and so we're trying to scramble, figure out how we sell more. We had more capacity, so we were able to open both and get those going. And then a couple years later, the opportunity came to take over the McLeod spot in Rogers, and it's been a huge hit. And
I mean, that place gorgeous setup.
It's a great building.
Yeah.
And then we had already bought the Little Rock spot before we came into Rogers. We just kind of delayed the build for Little Rock, and then got into that. And
so
Little Rock's been huge.
What's it like setting up somewhere long distance space? I know you're from there.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, we stay pretty connected. We got team members, so we got leaders that go down and check in. I was down there yesterday. I mean, it's been really strong. We've got great team there. And so again, it's all about trust and trusting the team to deliver the consistency that we want.
The hiring for something like that on a first-time occasion has just got to be daunting.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Okay, good.
You know, my brother did a great job building that team. We got a great new GM there now, Jacob, and he does a great job. Jeremy came from Texas and running the pits, and we've been able to assemble a team of a great team there.
Forgot to mention one thing about Johnson: the drive-through during COVID.
Yeah.
That drive-through, if you didn't get here at a certain time, or not here, but if you didn't get there at a certain time, you're in a line.
Yeah, long line. Yeah, we had, I think, one time 45-something cars.
I might have been in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, what a pivot point and setup for you guys.
Yeah, no, it
super important.
It really changed the business for us. Is like learning how to do online orders. We switched POSs at the time.
Yeah,
we had a terrible online ordering system in the previous POS, and so that's been really fundamental to our business.
Awesome. Relationship with the Razorbacks and being able to. I've had some barbecue sandwiches at a football game. How are you able to pull that off? Are you guys have full team smoking the night before? And back then, before you had the Johnson Smokehouse.
Yeah, no, we just put it all together. We just kind of figure it out. Those game days, especially football, it's so much product, so much beef and pork getting sent over there. But what we've really kind of pride ourselves on at the stadium is we're slicing it and chopping it fresh as we're building sandwiches there. So you're getting almost exactly what you'd get at a store there.
Well, and it's not dry.
Yeah.
Which,
for sure.
If you go at 3:00 in the afternoon somewhere, just on a regular barbecue place, and the heat lamp and everything, you get barbecue. More often than not, it's dry. Yeah. How do you? I mean, I don't want you to give away any secrets or anything like that, but that takes a lot of attention.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a lot of attention. It takes when you notice something's not servable, you can't serve it. Figure out something else to do with it. But yeah, it's just standards and holding those standards, and those standards are high, and we expect you're not going to be perfect 100% of the time, but our goal can be that, and the closer we strive to that, then the closer we get every day.
Yeah. 2 to 3 years into it, Texas Monthly, the barbecue yearly Bible for the state of Texas. They do the top 50, which if you're in barbecue in Texas, you wait for that edition to come out. It's a big deal. They come up here and they basically review you in a separate article.
Yeah.
What on earth? How did that happen?
Yeah, no, it was a huge blessing at the time and still is. We're blessed with great relationships down there in Texas, and obviously we go down there quite often just to eat and hang out with our friends that are all doing the same thing. We're all cooking barbecue. We're all trying to make the best barbecue in the world. And so when you have a community of people that are all like-minded in that goal, that we're all trying to figure out the best way to do it, the best products, the best processes, being connected with Daniel on the front side of like connecting with Evan, having that relationship. He followed us on Instagram, was keeping track of what we're doing and his path. Daniel's an interesting, he's a barbecue traveler. He eats barbecue all over the country, over the world. And so he was taking his kids to camp, and then he made a trip, and they came up and we did a big interview and phone call about it, and they came up and shot. And so, he's great, man. He's a great ambassador also for barbecue. I mean, I think that, right now, and I don't know how long they've been doing it, for quite some time, but it really does bring a boost to the whole barbecue community, because even if your barbecue restaurant doesn't get in the top 50, people are talking about barbecue. Mm-hmm. And even the people that don't get in it, some of those times they have better barbecue than people that did make it, but no,
it's all subjective.
Whatever reason, the reviewers or whatever, and so it just brings that conversation to light. Yeah. And so more people are talking about barbecue. It's better for barbecue in general.
It is, and it's a big conversation there.
Yeah,
big conversation. Where were you when you found out you were the top barbecue restaurant on Yelp?
Where was I? That was.
And how did it smack you across the face?
I think it was 2021. We had I think we had gotten we were number 90 or something in 2019.
Okay.
And then we'd moved up a little in 2020 or whenever they did it next. Maybe it was 2018, 2019. I don't think they did it in 2020. And I don't think they've done it since 2021. I'm not certain. But yeah, when they sent that out and it was it was up there and I was like, oh, you look through anytime somebody sends you a list, reviews and ratings. It's
right.
Look, we want to make the next meal. That's what we're focused on today. We're focused on today's lunch being really, really great.
Sure.
But someone sends you a deal. It's okay, I'm going to look through it. Again, kind of almost similar to the brisket deal. It's you look through it, you go down from 100 and you're like, we're not, we're not on it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, number one, oh, this is unbelievable. So yeah, we celebrated pretty good. And, we've had a lot of good things when it comes to just, I think the reward of us having really high standards and having great team that are locked into making world-class barbecue, you get good rewards sometimes.
As taken on and noticed by James Beard folks last year. Tell me about that one. That was
also very epic. I got a text from a chef friend in South Carolina who he's an unbelievable chef at a restaurant called Chubby Fish. So if you're ever out in Charleston, go to Chubby Fish and see James London. He texted me and said, hey, congrats, man, huge news. And I'm like, oh, what? And I was like, what would he be sending congrats? I was like, what happened? I think he's like,
right.
James Beard list. And I was like, oh, great. So yeah, it was huge news, and we celebrated that big time. And I told my team, I was like, this is a restaurant group. This is a team award.
Of course.
Because it doesn't happen without them and without having a great group of people. Yeah. So everybody was really pumped. It's exciting.
It is exciting. I have to ask about Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
The shirtless Jason Kelsey. Was that in Rogers?
Yeah, that was in Rogers. Yeah, and I guess he had just recently retired and was promoting garage beer.
Okay.
And was up in town, and I get a text, and I don't even remember where I was. Sometimes I'll get a text, I'm like, I'm nowhere near the store, and I can't be at 3 or 4 stores at once if a celebrity comes. But yeah, he came up, and I was like, all right, I'm leaving. I shut down a meeting, and I headed out and got up there as fast as I could. Man, he's such a kind guy, and we had a blast. And
awesome.
Yeah, the shirtless thing happened because I gave him a shirt, and he put it on backwards.
Oh.
And then he was like, oh, crap. And then I don't know why, we're just videoing him putting on the shirt. And it says,
I think he's worn it a few times on his podcast, right?
Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah. Right on. You ready to talk barbecue?
Yeah.
Let's do that. We've got that, the Mike Engleman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that's next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Let me show you something.
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
Okay, it's time for the Mike Engleman Home Pro Tip of the Week. And for that, we go to Jordan. Sir, what's your tip?
Yeah, I think my tip for barbecue is understanding flavor. What are you wanting to taste? Being able to accomplish that, whether it's the best seasoning profile that you like or you've tested. And so it's really just understanding, okay, do I want it to taste like Texas style? Do I want it to taste Kansas City style? What am I really trying to accomplish when I'm cooking? And so, whether it's looking up online and finding a great recipe to follow, understanding what that really should taste like.
Yeah.
And I guess my second point, my little extra bonus tip is when you're cooking a brisket at home, really making sure there's enough moisture in the environment, and then being patient and letting it cook, really getting it finished to where it's tender, and then giving plenty of time to rest. I think a lot of home cooks struggle to give themselves the space and time to say, I've got plenty of time to get this done, and then I'm going to rest it for an extended period of time before people come eat. That allows the flavor and the moisture to redistribute, and it gives a better product. So
perfect. Thanks, sir.
A couple tips.
We'll be right back.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
Well, it's your weekly reminder to be an organ donor. Organdonor.gov is the place to go get signed up. We've talked about it every week, but something that came out here the last few days, we've been telling you that there are over 105,000 people on the organ transplant waiting list. The new numbers came out earlier this week. It's now 108,000 plus. Get signed up. Organdonor.gov is the place to go. You can also do the health app on your iPhone, a great place to get signed up as well. Or go old school like I did. It was the DMV in Texas for me many years ago. But here at the Department of Finance, you can get an organ donor stamp put on your card for when you update your driver's license. Please do it. It's so important. 64% of eligible Arkansans are the only ones that are signed up currently. That's a big hole. Let's put a dent in this. Thank you so much. We're back with Jordan. Ready to talk barbecue?
Yep.
Let's do it. We're going to jump right into it. Tell me about what made you decide on Moberg Smokers.
Yeah, I was looking around during the time when we were trying to launch, and was following Sonny and a few different guys that I'd followed. Killens had just bought a Moberg. There were a few guys that had just bought some that I really trusted and respected.
Yeah. And
so reached out to Sonny. He was able to get us in. And man, we've just been really impressed with his craftsmanship. Yeah. And, we've got some cookers now that have been with us for 9 years and still cooking great barbecue today. Yeah. And so, you build a good relationship with a guy like that you trust and cooks great, consistent barbecue, and keep rocking and rolling.
How do you pick out briskets?
Well, so there's quite a extensive process that you go through from just like starting out and trying to figure out, okay, here's what product we know we need. Okay, right. Well, now here are all the options of all the different producers that make it. Yeah. And then, okay, this is all their different brands, and these are all their different, marbling, criteria that we have. And so, we really just, you have to buy it. We have to bring it in. We got to cook it. We got to test it. And we're tasting for beef flavor. We're testing for tenderness, and we're looking for overall fat content that's throughout the muscle. It's what really separates prime from, choice, select, etc.
Okay.
But even within the context of prime, you've got variations when it comes to which plant and which inspector at the plant is giving more leniency to allowing more prime. And prime brisket is different today than it's ever been because there's more demand. And so it takes a lot of, especially when we switched from a Nebraska beef company, an Iowa beef company, to now we're using certified Angus beef prime. We switched from Creekstone to that.
Gotcha.
And so but we test it, we look at it, we look for who's a great partner, who's willing to keep us in supply, because we buy more brisket than we've ever bought. And so we've got to make sure we have the product guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to come there and us not have brisket because we can't find any.
Right.
It's just about, again, kind of similar thing with the smokers, is finding somebody you have a great relationship with, and then making sure the product's to spec and that it's delivering to expectations.
Yeah. I think what people don't know about you, what's hugely underrated, is the smoked chicken. I saw you did a video, it might have been in your backyard, of smoking chicken or a smoked chicken recipe.
Yeah.
If you've not had it at Wright's, it's a little bit of a cheat code. Tell me about it.
Man, our chicken breast product is really good. It's really it's a catch-22 for us, because our turkey is really good too.
Okay.
And so we're like, do we get rid of turkey? Do we get rid of chicken? We have too many proteins.
Can't do either.
But it's like we have enough. We have a lot of demand for both. But our chicken breast product is, man, I love it. I eat it most days, most weeks.
Yeah.
But we've really grown in that item, because like we used to not. We glaze it now. We hit it with a little mop, impart more flavor on it. But just cook it to the right temperature, hold it well, and it stays really moist, and we love it.
That's great. Bacon burn-ins.
Yeah.
You can't not do that now. It's just caught on fire.
Yeah. No, and that's a product that, we do it differently than anyone else.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Travis Heim down in Fort Worth, who had started
Barbecue.
Heim Barbecue,
Yeah.
and they had a bacon burn-in product that I had back in like 2016, back really before I got going, but just in the food truck, and had it, and it was a little more candied bacon. It was pork belly cubed up, and then they kind of tossed it in some sauce and kind of sweetened it up. And man, when I cooked it the way we did, with just seasoning and just it got crispy, and I was like, man, this is nice. And so we really like it. Yeah, it's been really popular
for sure. I know your sides have evolved. I'm a big fan of the deviled egg potato salad, by the way.
Yeah,
a lot different from the first menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we definitely, back in the day we've improved our coleslaw. I mean, everything we've done, we try to just improve if we can. And, we try to make it better, deliver more consistency. Again, we want people to walk in and have a great plate, and so we're hammering our team and hammering the front line team. Just make sure that plate's looking like you would serve it to yourself, you'd serve it to whoever, and that you're proud of it, and that you want to see it on the internet, because every plate could end up on the internet.
Right, exactly. So growth in Central Arkansas. You got Benton that's getting close, I think, maybe.
Yep. Benton is in June.
Benton's in June. You just announced West Little Rock.
West Little Rock will be later on in the year.
Okay, all right. What's next? Can you even look that far ahead?
Yeah, no, we're looking. I mean, we're just trying to find good deals that make sense.
Right.
In a market that needs great barbecue.
Yeah.
And so, we're just trying to be disciplined in our growth and make sure we don't kind of get too far over our skis. And so,
Where can folks find you?
They can find us on WrightsBarbecue.com.
Well, I guess you Google it, right?
WrightsBBQ.com.
Yeah, okay.
Wrights Barbecue on Instagram, Twitter.
All right, perfect.
Awesome. and then they can find us at the home office store. Probably the biggest thing that we're working on is trying to get the message out that anyone can come to the home office at Walmart and come eat. That's open to public and open to the store or to the Walmart employees. But it's a beautiful build out right on 8th Street. Both our Bentonville stores are great. We've got great cultures at both. You got the downtown one, which is about to kick off with bike trail season going. And then the Walmart home office store has a little more indoor dining. But
and two huge TVs.
Massive TVs. So great spot to book a rehearsal dinner. We got a rehearsal dinner booked right now.
How about that?
For later this year, and which you could put your slideshow on those big TVs. And so,
Holy crap.
That's what we're trying to promote, is trying to get those dinner. Because dinner's a little challenging on campus because, Walmart team members going to eat.
So let me add one thing to that. If you're worried about parking down there, the garage is right behind it. You're right there.
The garage is right behind it. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for all you do for the culinary community.
I love it. I love doing it. My favorite job.
Appreciate you.
Flavors of Northwest Arkansas you can find on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Appreciate your time. Tip your servers. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.